guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so sorry if the lighting is bad and the angle is bad. My power is currently out, I think because of the heat that we're experiencing. They said they're working on it, but I'm trying to sit in a window so that you can see me the best, and this is the best angle. So also my room is a wreck because I'm currently packing for vacation, so there's a lot going on. Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is a video that I think I have done for 2 years now, so this should be the 3rd year of it, I'm pretty sure. But it is my 6-month movie update. So if you know me at all, you know that I watch a lot of movies. Last year my Letterboxd review said that or my like Letterboxd year review said that I watched 200 something movies. I think I spent, like, hours wise, a 1/4 of my year watching films. I will put the stat screenshot here so you can see what I'm talking about. But the reason I do 6-month movie updates is because it would take far too long to do every movie I watched for the year in the month of December. Like, that would just be too long of a video, so I like to split it up. And also, sorry, there's a lot of stipulations in this video. Today is June 16th, which means it's only halfway through June, but like I said, I'm going on vacation, so I want to make sure that I can get as many videos done as possible before I go on vacation, and I won't be back until June is over, so it seemed feasible to do it now. Also, another stipulation is, also, don't mind my red nose. I was at the pool today, and yeah. And one of my resolutions this year that I'm really trying to stick to is to watch more like new things than to do rewatches. So I'm super big into seasonal rewatches, and I'm not getting rid of those. Like, I still have my summer watch list, my fall watch list, winter watch list, all of those things, but I'm trying to just do more new things than just rewatching things to rewatch them. And that's for shows and movies. I think I'm doing pretty good so far, but we shall see once we go through my Letterboxd for the year. I think I'm doing good TV shows wise, at least, which is good. But I just want to make sure that new things this year in December outweigh the rewatches. And I'm sure that I'm gonna watch a ton of movies for the rest of June. Mainly probably just like summer vibe ones, or ones that I watch while I'm like at the airport or something like that. But if I remember in December to add those in, I will, and if I don't, these videos might just be missing a couple movies, and that's okay. So I use Letterboxd to track all of my movie watching. It's like Twitter for movies, which is fire. But we will go ahead and start in January of 2024. I watched a lot of movies in January, so let's get going. The first movie I watched, as always, is the movie About Time. This is in my top 5 favorite movies ever, and it is always the first movie that I watch every year. I think I've been doing that since college started. It is such a good movie to start the year, and then I don't watch it again until January 1st, so I've only seen it a handful of times, which is super cool, but it sticks with me all freaking year, so. And then on January 1st, I also went to the theater to see Anyone But You. I love going to the movie theater on holidays. It's just so fun. I think when I'm older and have a family, we're going to be going to the movies on Christmas. We're going to be going to the movies on Thanksgiving. It's such a fun little activity, but I went with my best friend. And yeah, I just like that it felt... I don't think it's better than 2000s rom-coms. Like, you can't outdo The Doer, but it felt like a 2000s rom-com, which I really appreciated because I don't really feel like we've had a movie like that since like Set It Up, which Glenn Powell was also in. So slay. I absolutely loved the wardrobe. I loved the Titanic references because that's my favorite movie. And I always love a little Shakespeare adaptation. What can I say? And this movie I have labeled as my 2024 in theaters because I have that for some of my Letterboxd tags, because I like to track which ones I saw in theaters and which ones I didn't. I literally look like Rudolph, guys. I promise I put sunscreen on. My nose gets red. On January 1st, I also apparently watched The Hating Game when I got home, which was a rewatch. And then I did a rewatch of The Longest Ride. When I got back to school, my roommates and I watched Sleepover, which I had surprisingly never seen. I think that's the craziest movie that I've ever viewed. Like, my review says this movie cannot be real. And trust me, it's good, but it cannot be real. And then I did a rewatch of Another Cinderella Story and The Princess Diaries. I saw The Iron Claw in theaters. It was like a Thursday at like 11 p.m. It was the only time that I was available to go see it, and I saw it with 2 of my friends. My review says, this just makes me want to call my sister. Zac Efron Oscar win. I still believe it should have been nominated. He was so good. That movie's incredible. I am a crier through and through. I cry in just about every movie ever. That movie destroyed me. Absolutely destroyed me. I was walking out hyperventilating. I think I cried all the way to the car. And then I proceeded to cry when I got home. That is a movie I am never viewing again because it had too profound of an effect for me to ever force myself to go through that pain again. Incredible film though, if you haven't seen it. It's really, really good. To take some of the pain away, when I got home, I did indeed watch High School Musical. So, yeah. And then every year for my birthday, I go home on the weekend of my birthday because my dad and I have super close birthdays, and the weekend of my birthday is always Martin Luther King Day weekend. So I always have a 3-day weekend, which is nice. I always pick a movie to see because for some reason that weekend, at least the past 4 years, has had good movie releases, and of course that weekend was Mean Girls the musical, so we went to go see it. And I will say that I had a fun time watching it, but it was not what I was expecting, if that makes sense. But if you're looking for a fun time, do Mean Girls, it's great. Then I watched High School Musical 2, which was a rewatch. Die Everyone Be Kid Project Rules, which was a rewatch, Cloud 9, which is a rewatch. Off to a great start. Some of these are in my winter watch list, like Cloud 9 I watch every winter. This was also, Meet the Parents and Cloud 9 were also on my birthday, so I get a pass because that's my favorite thing to do in the world. Then for my film class, I watched Metropolis, which is technically a rewatch because I did have to watch Metropolis for my freshman year film class, but I didn't really remember it, but I'm still gonna count it as a rewatch. And then I rewatched The Other Zoe and The Wedding Planner. And then for film class, I also did a rewatch of Modern Time. Watched freshman year when I took a film class, and still just as good. Then I watched The Holdovers. So this year, I think this is the year where I have watched the most Best Pictures. I try every year to watch all of them before the Oscars, but sometimes I just don't want to pay for them. And so this year, I think I found the majority of them for free. At least over half I watched. So The Holdovers was obviously nominated for Best Picture, and my review says, gosh, this one felt like a warm hug. I love Educators, just one about people living and bantering, and it doesn't get much better than that. Truly felt like if Sitting by the Fireplace was a movie, it would be The Holdovers. Incredible film. Then I went to Texas at the end of January. So my mom and I watched Maestro on the plane, which was also a Best Picture nominee. I said it's just so good. The cinematography, the makeup, wow. Carey Mulligan was incredible. You can feel how passionate Bradley Cooper is about this film through every corner of it. And then this one is in my Best Pictures tags, and of course my Airplane Watches tag. My Airplane Watches tag is probably my favorite because I think movies that I watch on airplanes are just always such a unique experience, and I always really appreciate those films. Then while we were in Texas, we watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which I had also surprisingly never seen. I've seen the show, but I had never seen the original movie. And then I also watched Election for the first time. I think Election is a hidden gem. Like, I have never really heard people talking about Election, and I had never seen it. But it has Reese Witherspoon and Matthew Broderick in it, and I love both of those people. And I said the narration in this absolutely made this movie. I did not expect this to be as good as it was. Such a hidden gem. A mix of Rachel Berry and Elle Woods. For real, Paul, you deserve the world. So highly recommend Election. And then on the plane, I think I got the luckiest I've ever been in my life because they had Past Lives on the plane. And so I watched Past Lives. I said I adore stories like these. The Comfortable Silence. Past Lives is incredible. Of course, it was nominated for Best Picture, so I also got to add that to the list. Then I finished up my January by watching Pather Panchali, which was also for my film class. Incredible movie, just kind of about the mundanity of life. I don't know if that's how you say that word, but it shows reality so well. And such a good philosophical film. Now we're into February, which I love watching romance movies in February, and it's going to be very obvious. So, started off my month strong with Dirty Dancing. Then I watched The Great Gatsby, which was a rewatch, and so was Dirty Dancing. And then I watched Tokyo Story for class, which was a great film. Enjoyed it a lot. I have a very long review on my Letterboxd. And then I watched all of the To All the Boys movies because Valentine's Day staple. And then I watched Valentine's Day, the movie, on Valentine's Day, of course. And those are all rewatches. I'm telling you, no matter what, I'm not getting rid of my seasonal watches. I just can't do it. And then I watched Upgraded, which was a new rom-com. I really enjoyed Upgraded. I thought it was really good, and I think Camila Mendes should be in more stuff. So, and then I watched the movie Float. And then for my film class, I watched a... Oh my god, someone just walked by my window. It spooked me. Then for my film class, I watched a really life-changing film called Nights of Cabiria, which is a classic that I have never seen. It's a Fellini film, and my review is also lengthy for this one, but it has one of my favorite quotes now since post-watching this movie, and it's beautiful, isn't it? So that's the front part of my review, and I just talk about how incredible Messina's performance was, how profound and moving and beautiful the ending and the message was. Like, this film has really stuck with me, and I watched it back in February, so if you haven't seen it, again, highly recommend. Then at a sorority event, I watched If Beale Street Could Talk, which I had never seen. I've had the song from the film called Agape on my phone for years, which is a beautiful piece of music, and it matches the beauty of this film so well. I want to rewatch this movie so bad. I said the gorgeous shots showing comfortable silence and what it means to truly love, painted in a landscape of true struggle. This film is stunning. The acting is magnificent. And this is just an old one that I just remember getting so much hype, and I just never got around to watching it, and so I'm glad I finally watched it. Then I watched Priscilla for the first time. Gave this one 3.5 stars, and I said it perfectly captured Priscilla's reality and left me feeling uneasy but beautiful. Then I have 3 movies that were first time watches, so go me. I watched Monster-in-Law for the first time, and then I watched Crossroads for the first time, probably because I think it's the first time it's ever been on streaming, but that could have been a classic. Crossroads could have been a freaking classic because it was so good. Then for my film class, I watched the film Gendarme. This movie was not, I don't remember it being a crowd favorite in my class, but I loved it. My review is basically like an essay. I wrote so many essays and little like just blurbs on this movie and the effect that it had on me. I just loved it. I thought the story was so cool. I thought it was just so like of its time, and even so of its time now. Like, I don't know, there's just so much I love about this movie. And if you are a true film lover and you want to try it out, I highly recommend Gendarme. But you need to just sit there and watch it and just consume it and take it in, absorb it like a sponge. It's incredible. Then I watched Letters to Juliet and First Daughter. Both of those were rewatches, and I watched them on Leap Day because the movie Leap Year was unavailable for free. Okay, now we're into March. So in March, I started off with another film class movie, and that was Elevator to the Gallows. And then I watched Killers of the Flower Moon and Poor Things, both for the first time. Killers of the Flower Moon was so good. Like, I was captivated the entire time. Was so good. Lily Gladstone was magnificent. Yeah. Then while I was on spring break, I was in Belize with my school. And on the day before we were leaving, it was March 16th, and we were leaving on St. Patrick's Day. And so while we were all packing up our stuff, we watched Luck of the Irish, of course. And then when I got back, I did a rewatch of Taylor Swift The Eras Tour because it was put on streaming. Then for film class, I watched La Noir Day, which I had also watched freshman year from my other film class. So technically it's a rewatch, but a lot of these films that I had to watch freshman year for film class, I just don't remember that much. So it was nice to revisit that one. Then I watched Irish Wish, which I think had just dropped or recently dropped on streaming. And then I did a rewatch of Endless Love, a rewatch of National Treasure, and then I did do a rewatch of Triangle of Sadness, but I had to watch it for film class again, so it doesn't really count. Then I saw Late Night with the Devil in theaters, very interesting movie. Watched Princess Diaries 2 again, and then watched Hop again for Easter. And then I finished off my March by watching Ricky Stenicki. John Cena wears his Oscar for that film because Ricky Stenicki, hilarious. I'm not usually super big into like cheesy comedy movies. Like, it's just not my thing. That movie though, devoured. Like, it's like Talladega Nights level, okay? And maybe maybe that's insane to say, but I'm gonna say it. That movie was funny. And did I watch it because of Zac Efron? Yes, I did. But John Cena, I'm sorry, he outshined Zac. He absolutely devoured in that film. Now we're into April. So I started off my April with a film class movie that was also a Best Picture nominee, which was so perfect, and it was The Zone of Interest. This movie in a theater would have been a completely different experience, and I still regret that I did not see it in theaters. The use of sound just alone was incredible. Like, I could write a novel on this film, and if you have not seen The Zone of Interest, you need to watch it. Then I did a rewatch of 13 Going on 30, and also a rewatch of Alvin and the Chipmunks, The Squeakquel. But the hard thing with like The Squeakquel and other films that I watched when I was a kid is a lot of these movies, like The Squeakquel, I probably have not seen in like 10 years at least. But it's technically a rewatch because I watched it so much growing up. But like revisiting it is hard to count it as a rewatch. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to count that one as a rewatch. Then I watched How to Date Billy Walsh, did a rewatch of Legally Blonde, I watched The Tear Smith, and then I watched Twilight Eclipse on Eclipse Day, April 8th, of course. Then for film class, I watched Princess Mononoke, which I had actually never seen, shockingly. So good. I said in my review, I will never not love Studio Ghibli. The end, the music, never getting over it. Our planet is too beautiful for us. I think the message to have been that in 1997 and for it to be still so true today is really telling. Then I did a rewatch of both Pitch Perfects, did a rewatch of Jump In and a rewatch of Lemonade Mouth and The Lorax, but The Lorax was at a college event. They had it like on the lawn for Earth Day, so that was cute. Rewatch of A Simple Favor. I'm saying the word rewatch a lot, which is scaring me. Did a rewatch of The Simple Favor, and then I watched the Brandy Melville documentary, did a rewatch of Anyone But You when it dropped on streaming, and then my roommate and I were like just browsing movies to watch, and we found the movie Red Eye from 2005, which had Cillian Murphy in it, so like sign me up. And it was so good. Like, I have never heard of this movie, but it was like incredible. I said Cillian slayed, or Rachel McAdams slayed. Also, in my review, I said that Rachel was booked and busy because this was 2005. Do you remember what was 2004? Yeah, you do. It was The Notebook. And then you also remember what was 2004, I think, was Mean Girls. So she was booked and busy. She was booked and busy, and she ate every time. Then I did a rewatch of LOL, a rewatch of 27 Dresses, and then I watched Interstellar for the first time. I cannot believe that I say I love film and I've never seen Interstellar until April 28th, 2024, but it's true. It was incredible. Like I had never seen. I said first time watching this, literally how, but I can't even fathom how this was made 10 years ago, let alone think about what it would be like if it was made now. Like, that is actually kind of insane to think about. This film is captivating, truly could not take my eyes off of it. Wow, just wow. Like, I can't even say nothing. Then on April 30th, I watched the best movie of the year, and it's called Challengers. Have you heard of it? Gave it 5 stars instantly. Like 10 minutes in, I was like, this is a 5-star film. I said just everything about this. Oh my god. Like, I'm sorry, but if you did not see Challengers in theaters, you missed out, because my theater was electric during that last scene. I about jumped out of my freaking seat. Like, you just had to be there. You just had to be there. It's like Barbie in summer 2023. You truly just had to be there. And same thing for Challengers. All right, we're in May. So I started off my May with Cinderella, which you might say, Logan, isn't that a rewatch? No, it isn't, because I have never seen the live action Cinderella because I'm crazy. And yeah, Cinderella. And I watched, of course, the critically acclaimed The Idea of You. I said, wait, I kind of ate this up, which I did. Is it what you expect a well-planned movie to be? Absolutely. Did I eat it up? Absolutely. Then I did a rewatch of Racing Stripes for the Derby, which I have also probably not seen in probably 15 years, actually. And it's sad that I have to count it as a rewatch, but here we are. Then my roommate and I watched American Psycho, which I have never seen, and as a film geek, that's crazy for me to say, but it's true. Great movie. I gave it 4 stars, and I said the Legally Blonde creators saw that dinner scene and knew that that was their Elle Woods. Then I did a rewatch of High School Musical 3 senior year, and you can't judge me for it because it was like 4 days before I graduated college. So then I watched Mother of the Bride. I did a rewatch of the Footloose remake. Don't know why I didn't watch the OG Footloose. Maybe it wasn't available on streaming. Then I watched Turtles All the Way Down. Guys, I have so much to say. I gave it 4 stars. I said, this is so 2014 in the best way. Like, that movie fully could have been made in 2014 because it was so good. I love this book, and I love Isabella Merced in that movie. She was the perfect choice for that character. Perfect choice. John Green, please stop making me cry. Please and thank you. Incredible. Turtles All the Way Down, other than Paper Towns, is my favorite book. And I have to say, we'll get to Paper Towns in a second, but Turtles All the Way Down absolutely lived up to the book. Was it different than the book? Absolutely lived up to the book. Of course, I love the book more because there's just more detail that you can't put into a movie, but Turtles All the Way Down was so good. Please watch it. It's so good. It's worth the watch. Then I watched Little Miss Sunshine, which is not marked as a rewatch, but I have seen that movie. So let me mark that. But that was a summer watch list film. And then I watched I Want You Back, which I fully don't remember reviewing. Oh, wait, yes I do. I said, Ryan Atwood, what are you doing here? The soundtrack is so Nancy Meyers. Thank you for that. I am a sucker for a little hidden rom-com, and that is definitely a little hidden gem. And then I did a rewatch of The Vow. Guys, this movie always makes me cry. But my review this time, brace yourselves. It says, thought about LOML by Taylor Swift after watching this, and now my whole day is ruined. Don't watch the last scene and think about that movie, or think about that song, because woo. And then, because I'm clearly on a, did I not put, wait, I did watch The Fault in Our Stars, guys. Where did it go? Oh wait, no, it's on there, okay. Then you're gonna watch me go through a Nat Wolff phase, because I'm actually going through my Nat Wolff phase again, because I did go through a Nat Wolff phase previously. I started off my Nat Wolff phase with a movie that I've never seen, and it's called Which Brings Me to You. I said truly couldn't follow this one. Truly couldn't. But I just love Nat Wolff, and I can't help it. A+ soundtrack though. And Lucy Hale's in it, and I feel like Lucy Hale in any rom-com, the movie is just automatically great. Like, I truly don't care if it's good or not. Objectively, like, I will eat a rom-com up every time. And it was cute. It was cute. I also loved the soundtrack, like I said. So, of course, because I was on a Nat Wolff kick, I also watched The Fault in Our Stars. Fault in Our Stars, surprisingly, I really, like, I don't think I've seen that movie in, like, at least since early high school. I just don't recall the last time I watched it. And I said, oh, to be 12, watching this in the movie theater for the first time. Once again, you had to be there. You just did. It was a moment. It was a moment. Like, this is how I'm gonna describe Tumblr to my children. Then I did a rewatch of Diary of a Wimpy Kid Dog Days, which was on my summer watch list. My sister and I usually watch that together every year. And I did a rewatch of Monte Carlo, which is not only one of the best movies ever made, but also on my summer watch list. And then I watched, for the first time, and you're gonna be shocked, Paper Towns. I got that movie, I think the year it came out, on DVD for Christmas, because I loved the book Paper Towns and I would talk about it all the time. Turned it on, and within, like, I think 5 minutes I turned it off. And this, granted, this was me when I had just read the book. I was a youngin', okay? I didn't understand, but I was like, why did they change it so much? And so I turned it off out of anger, and I'm very sorry, John Green. But I also have to say, I do love the book substantially more. So I did watch Paper Towns, slay. Then I watched Do Revenge, which, where have I been? Where have I been? Like, Do Revenge, devoured. My review says, thought this was a silly little Netflix movie, and it was actually incredible. Like, it needs to be canon. The casting is phenomenal. Like, I have never seen that many people that I know as actors, not personally, as actors in a film, I don't think. Other than maybe, like, Knives Out. I said Camila and Maya were perfection. Put Austin in a horror movie. put him in a horror movie because he had me petrified. Put him in a horror movie. And the absolute Gen Z Mod Podge cast was everything. Like, yes, thank you for giving us Jonathan Davis and Alicia Bowe. Bring back teen movies with phenomenal soundtracks and cute end credit scenes. Thank you. And then I watched Barbie again because it was showing for free in my town as like a little summer event at the park. And so my friends and I went, and I said I'll never get tired of watching this with a big group of people because that movie is just incredible to watch in an audience. So slay Barbie. Now here are the movies that I have watched in June. May and June were slim on the movie front because I just started my full-time job, and so I'm still adjusting to that and not being able to watch movies 24/7. So they were slim on the movie front, guys. June is struggling. We're already halfway through and I've only watched 6 movies, which is crazy. But here we are. I started off my June with, of course, the most summer movie I think ever created, and that is Aquamarine. On my summer watch list every year. It just feels like a summer hug. I don't know. Then I watched Mamma Mia, did a rewatch of Can't Buy Me Love, and then I watched Bend It Like Beckham for the first time, which both my roommates had seen and I had not seen. Great movie. I had so much fun watching it. Can't believe I've never seen it. Then I watched The Sandlot, which was a very similar situation to Barbie. They were showing it for free in my town, and it was so freaking cute, guys. During the fireworks scene in The Sandlot, which is one of my favorite scenes of the movie, fireworks actually started like across town and we could see them. Oh, I think the whole place gasped. Like, that was crazy. I said this is one that for me is just a wonderfully made fun film. It gets everyone laughing, smiling, and reminiscing a magic moment of a film. And then yesterday I watched Brat, the documentary about the Brat Pack, and I said, oh, to have witnessed 80s movies in the 80s. Also the Anthony Michael Hall Erasure, what was that about? And I said Demi's interview and her takes on the whole situation I think slayed and really summed up what I was kind of expecting them to say. So I liked Demi Moore's takes, and then some parts of this were just not what I expected, but it was still super insightful. And I love all the Brat Pack movies and like John Hughes movies and 80s movies. So it was fun to watch and fun to just like watch what it was like actually living it in the 80s, and I wish I could have been there, girl. I wish I could have been there. Okay, so that is my 6-month movie update. Thank you all for watching, and yes, hopefully my power comes back on soon, but here we are sweating. But here we are. Yes, thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye!